basically that, voltage regulation and grid support, that some projects will need. So a lot of our commercial projects, haven't needed that type of grid support, or VAR support, but some of the bigger utility scale systems have. So it's something that again, when it's needed, has been a valuable feature.
Any other key product innovations we want to touch on before maybe we talk a little bit about energy storage solutions?
I think those are the big ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in general, we're always thinking of, the installers, as they're either working inside the equipment, operating it, interfacing it. So I think there's always, different improvements that we look at and, try and continuously innovate on, whether it's, having enough working space in the wire box, or making it really simple to, commission the inverters, simple settings, that's clear and easy to do.
So let's talk a little bit about energy storage. Obviously, that is the next frontier in solar's growth. Um, so, I mean, tell me in general what you are seeing in the market in terms of does every project have a storage component now in middle of 2025? How are the costs of batteries coming down, and how is that changing the feasibility of integrating storage into projects? But then, let's talk about what makes CPS's offerings unique around storage as well.
Yeah, well, I guess to one of your first questions, we are still seeing a lot of systems out there. So I would say, not every project today is needing storage. Depending on what markets, what states or, even counties the projects are. But we are seeing more and more projects that are, solar plus storage and adding that energy storage component, especially in places like California, where I am. The utility rates have changed, pretty dramatically over the, past few years. The net metering programs, it's made it, very challenging for solar only systems to, pencil economically without having that energy storage component. So yeah, I would say it definitely varies, across different states and project locations. But we are seeing, energy storage, like you said, kind of be a key component, in that next step of the evolution.
Would you say 50% of the projects have storage now in California?
I'm not sure. I know I've looked at, I think SEIA has some data, some kind of overall market data. I think CalSA does have some. Forget the numbers off the top of my head, but
Okay.
yeah, it's definitely, if it's not 50, it's definitely trending that way. But again, we are seeing some projects, depending on the site, what sort of loads there are, especially in the commercial side, whether they're using all of the energy produced by solar, then net metering becomes less of an impact. But yeah, it definitely varies. At CPS, we have developed energy storage solutions for both commercial and utility scale projects. On the commercial side, we have our 125 kilowatt, 261 kilowatt hour system. And then utility scale, we have larger products, are 2.4 megawatt, 5 megawatt hour battery systems. So you can kind of see the scale there of, really those larger systems are designed for, very large PV plus storage sites. Like I said, we at CPS have made the strategic decision to really focus on string inverter technology for the U.S. market. Like you said, our global team has a lot of different products that they offer, and have developed. But what we've done at CPS America is really focus on three-phase string, inverter technology, found, how do we bring this technology and make it applicable to all these different segments in the market? And one of those is energy storage. So yeah, one of our latest products is our 125 kilowatt, 261 kilowatt hour commercial system. That's batteries that are manufactured by CPS, inverters as well, all integrated into one single container. So again, that goes back to really, how do we make this simple to design with, simple to install? You've got the batteries, the inverters, all pre-integrated, connected together. So you're not having to, find batteries from one, manufacturer and figure out how it'll connect to an inverter and then other equipment. So that's one we're really excited about, of really having it all integrated, certified. All you're doing is kind of dropping it in place at the site and connecting the AC wires to the building nodes. So
earlier in this conversation, I'm going to share my screen for a second. I did a quick search on ChatGPT about Chint, and it's, well, here it is. I just wanted to share this with the audience. It's founded in 1984, 30,000 employees globally, public company. And these are, it says the main product lines are these. So would the storage solutions coupled with solar, would that go under, I guess, this product line of microgrid solutions and energy storage? Is that how it is categorized in the US as well? I mean, obviously there's so many other product lines here: medium and high voltage equipment, low voltage products, industrial automation, all of that. 16 billion in $16 billion in annual revenue. That is significant. The breakdown by geography.
That's Chint Group. So CPS America, we're a much smaller.
Yeah, which I'm assuming is this 5 to 8% is mostly you guys, about that total Chint Group revenues. Who knows if this is accurate, but it's still a pretty impressive company. With 16 billion in revenues and market cap only 7 billion, that seems like a good buy opportunity. Although we're not giving any stock advice here. That is a quick high-level view on Chint. Competes with the likes of Schneider, Siemens, ABB, obviously. So, I guess microgrids, is that a thing that is a term that you guys use in your go-to-market? And do you see a rapid increase in the sale of those types of solutions, I guess?
On the microgrid side, we have seen more and more microgrid projects with our products, and it is something our energy storage systems, have the capability of grid forming versus just grid following. So they do have that capability of being used in microgrid projects. We've also seen, our PV inverters be used in microgrid projects with, other equipment. So it is, I think, a growing market segment that we're starting to see more and more projects with.